Well, hey there, besties.
Hello.
I bet you guys weren't expecting to see us this week.
Yes, a nice, subtle mini episode surprise. Since we don't have a episode of Dancing with the Stars this week, we thought it would be fun to do this.
Yeah, we're just going to pop in and kind of have a little bit of a, like Madeline said, a mini-sode to kind of talk through the theme for not this coming week, but the next week. What is that, the 12th?
Yes, November 12th.
And one, to cut down on the time that the next episode we do will be, because if we had to recap the tribute dances and then give our thoughts on the dances that we saw, it would just, I feel like, go really long. And it's nice to have something to get us through until next week. So that's why we're here.
Happy to be here.
Really, really jazzed, really pumped, and slightly nervous. Not only is this our first mini-sode, but after reviewing the dances iconic dances that are coming our way as a tribute for the 500th episode, I'm also nervous for that.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and get into it with like the dances, the styles, who's assigned what, or is there any other ground we need to cover before then?
I think the only thing we need to cover is that Carrie Ann went on Good Morning America this morning to kind of, I think it was mostly a promotion for the 500th episode. And I think, like us, they're kind of like, oh crap, we have a down week where there's nothing for us to put out. I thought it was a little strange, not that they picked Carrie Ann, but just after everything kind of went down Halloween and there was so much backlash for her. I think it was strange that they sent her as the representative alone, because
Right.
I think people were thinking like, oh, there's going to be like an announcement that she's leaving the show, or, she's coming on to do damage control, but it wasn't anything like that. And I will say that the comments that she did make when asked about like what it's like to be a judge and get harsh feedback, like I think she handled it really well. I was really pleased with what she said, and she makes a good point. That it is nice to like see that people are so passionate about the show, albeit I'm sure sometimes it feels like the world is burning because of your choices.
Yeah, I think last week was just so out of character for her. And that's kind of why I just wish I think she addressed it professionally. I think she was very much trained up before she went out there. And I mean, we know she's a smart gal. She's typically a great judge. And like, I noticed that, which I was going to talk about later, but I'll go ahead and say it now. I was watching all of the dances that they're going to be doing tributes to, and I was listening to all of her feedback then, and it just made me nostalgic and thinking about, I guess Lynn might have too even kept her in line a little bit. Like, I feel like he
would have shut her down.
Yeah, I think if she would have pulled what she did last night in front of Lynn, he really would have been like so upset at her. But it's okay. I mean, I think she is a good judge, and she has historically been a good judge. And so I know we were really hard on her last week, and I'm just holding out hope that she will do a good job on the 500th episode and be herself on the 500th episode.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one other thing is like, I know that we're harsh towards the judges sometimes, but that's because we hold them to a different standard because it is their job to judge this show.
Yeah.
But that being said, I do want to remind everyone, especially because we do have so many like new folks this season, that like, while yes, we can throw some shade at the judges and be frustrated at them and take our frustration with like how it's going out on them, let's not do that to each other. Just quick reminder, hey guys, we love each other and we love this show, and it's not that serious, and it's just, we're all here to have fun. So just keep that in mind.
It's also fun. I will also say, like, Katie and I agree a lot. We agree on a lot of things. So it's also kind of fun to disagree sometimes, especially on something as unserious as Dancing with the Stars. Like, we can disagree, but there's a fun and lighthearted way to do it. And so I think that's good energy to channel. But
absolutely. So no matter what team you're on, whether it be Dwight or Chandler or anyone.
Or Team Arnold Pommel. I mean,
anyone in between, just remember that everybody connects to each of these people differently, and we all have our own opinions, and that's what makes it so great. So, but if you want to be frustrated at the people who it's their job to know about this and score it appropriately, that's different. But we're all just out here, connecting with what we feel as, the general public. So everybody just be nice.
We are all on one team, and that's Team Dancing with the Stars, baby. So,
amen. Let's do it. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So the 500th episode of Dancing with the Stars, each pro and star are going to pay tribute to a former iconic dance from past seasons. The first press release, I don't know if this is the order that they'll go in next Monday, but this is just the order that it's listed online. So that's the order we're going in.
It's alphabetical order. That's why I looked it up. Just like, what order is this? And I was like doing the ABCs, and I was like, I get it now.
Okay. So up first is Danny and Whitney. They will perform a quick step inspired by Elio's and Julianne's performance in season 5 to Hey Pachuco.
So I think first of all, I think just overall as a whole, having to pay tribute to like these really, really iconic fan favorite dances from across the seasons, I think it's such a great theme. I think it's going to be really fun. But I also think that the pressure is going to be on because people have like such an emotional connection, those of us who have been around for a really long time on the show, to the original dances. So I don't think that puts them at a disadvantage necessarily, especially because it's not like, hey, do this dance. It's like, it's inspired by this dance.
Right.
But I think across the board, it's going to kind of, quote unquote, separate the men from the boys because we're really going to get to see, what people are made of, and especially and the pros as well, because they're going to have to get really creative with how to take a dance that has been performed on this show and tweak it to really help their star shine. So I think it's going to be really interesting overall, and I'm really excited to see it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this was inspired by like The Mask, right?
Yes. This is that sound or that song is in the movie The Mask.
Yeah, and the costuming as well, like all of that. I was like, I think this is The Mask, but I wasn't. Maybe I was like, am I projecting or? But so when I rewatched this, the first thing that stood out to me was, oh my God, Julianne was a little baby,
so young. She looks just like an Arnold sister.
She really does. Yeah. I think that this for Danny is going to be a challenge, but I think thinking back to his jive that he did to Top Gun and the jive that we watched last week in the dance-off, he can be light on his feet and he has pretty good movement for the most part, so I don't think it's, compared to others on the list, I think that he has a good shot at making this look really good. It's going to be a challenge though, because there's a lot of footwork, and I think that, it's a quick step. There's not like a ton of lifts and tricks and stuff in this. So he's really going to have to focus in on his feet and his frame. And I think he can definitely do it, but I feel like the challenge is there for him. But like you pointed out to me, which I didn't even think about this for some reason. I was like, oh, we don't have Dancing with the Stars for 2 weeks. I didn't even think that means that they have 2 weeks to practice this.
Right. Yeah. So for this dance, I definitely agree with you. I think this is going to be a major challenge for Danny. I think he's going to have the athleticism and the energy to get through it seamlessly, but this is a nonstop high energy dance. I mean, this is not something that you can quote unquote hide behind any tricks with. They move, if you watch this, Lynn calls them, he called it the banana dance or the dancing banana because of how fast Elio moved across the dance floor. So Elio won his season with Julianne, and this dance, I believe, was his first perfect score of the season. And I was just reading like some of the archives on this today, but I think this is just going to be challenging because, again, if they pay tribute to it, I mean, they're going to be able to be creative. It's probably not going to be the exact same, whatever. But if they did it exactly like Elio and Julianne did, it is just lights are on. It's just those two on the dance floor. There are no effects. There are no special effects. There's no graphics. Like, it's just them two. And so I feel like Danny can really prove me wrong with this one. And I mean that because I just don't know how he's going to do. I feel like it's going to be a major challenge for him, but I think he can step up to the plate.
Yeah, and I think that this is definitely his for the taking. I'm not as concerned about this one as I am some others. Let's talk about, so obviously they paid tribute to the iconic kiss scene in the movie The Mask.
Yes.
At the end of this, and they have a big old dance floor smooch. So
huge kiss. Like, just, you remember that moment from the movie where he kisses him, he lays one on the gal, and it is like a major kiss, and he does that in this dance, and it was shocking to everyone there. Like, nobody could calm down, like the clapping whenever it happened. And so there's just no way that Danny will kiss Whitney.
Maybe they'll hug it out at the end.
Yeah, or like a fake kiss, like their lips won't touch, but they'll pretend. Yeah. I don't know.
But I feel like it. Just seeing that, you text me, you were like, oh my God, I forgot they kissed. And then when I watched it back, I was like, oh, they like for real kissed. Like, this isn't like, oh, a little peck. They're like kissing actively.
Yeah, so, it was really funny.
But I'm excited. I'm interested. Do you think they're going to pay homage with the costuming and like set design and everything as well?
I do personally. I think that all of the costuming will be as close as possible.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be really fun. So I'm really excited about this. I think this is a really good one. And like I said, I think it's Danny's for the taking. I think this is kind of a time where he needs to I feel like he's split half and half on like naysayers and people who like stan Danny and Whitney really hard. So I think that this is gonna be like either, you know, put up or shut up at that point.
It's going to be his first like dance in 3 weeks, in my opinion. So yes. I'm excited.
We'll see how the improvement has come along when we get to actually see dance content. So I'm excited.
Yes. Okay. Next up, The Bachelor. Joey and Jenna are going to perform a contemporary inspired by Riker and Allison's performance in season 20 To Work song by Hozier.
So you go first on this.
Okay.
Because I think we're going to disagree. I think we're going to disagree.
Okay. I seriously love this dance so much, and maybe that's why I have such high hopes for Joey. Okay, I feel like if Danny would have gotten this dance, I would have been disappointed because it was going to remind me way too much of his contemporary that he already did. So I'm happy that Joey has this. Again, I think this will be a challenging dance for Joey because the lifts are very intense in this dance. Mm-hmm. This is such a good dance. The powder, like you need to go watch it.
They were having their LeBron James moment.
It's like the special effects in this one and like the use of a different prop being powder, like at the very beginning, like kind of starting them off in a cloud. I don't know, iconic. I think about this dance often. I miss Allison and I hope she's doing well. It made me think about her today watching this. But okay, so I feel like while it is a tall task, I think Joey is going to eat. I think he's going to do well. I think Joey will do well, hopefully getting in character because Riker was in such character for this dance, such intensity. I think Joey's going to have a hard time getting into the intensity. I don't think he'll have as much of a hard time doing the dance. But again, I love this dance and I'm so glad that someone is doing this one.
So I was right. We're disagreeing.
Oh my God, shocker.
So I think one of the biggest things for me is that I loved Riker and Allison so much, and they had so many iconic dances that this one just isn't at the top of my list for them.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like it's because that they were just such a strong partnership, and he was so talented.
I feel that about a couple later, but so I can relate to that feeling.
So, and this one, like, it's beautiful. It's really, really, really good. Like, there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's amazing. It just, like I said, when I saw it on the list, I was like, I don't really remember this. Because I think everyone's first thought when it comes to Riker and Allison is their Paso Doble to Pirates of the Caribbean, just because it was like...
That one was so good.
It was so amazing.
It's so crazy to me that they did not win their season, but that's just how good Rumor and Val were.
I know. That, there, like, we'll get to it in a minute too, like when we talk about other dances on this list, but like there were so many times, like, and I feel like even up to last season where like the competition is just so stacked that there are so many people who like deserve to win that it really just, it's a toss up by the time you get to the end. So
right.
But yeah, it's crazy that they didn't win. I don't think that Joey is going to do a bad job because he hasn't done a bad job yet. He's just is really like he just has a natural ability for dance, which is so awesome coming from someone who was literally like just a dude and then became the Bachelor and then like he just seems like a normal person. And so I am nervous because you know that I have some qualms with his feet. I don't think that he's necessarily light on his feet. Which you don't have to be for a contemporary. However, if he don't have no shoes on,
I'm excited to see these Hobbit feet that Jenna talked about.
That Jenna called out. No, I know. That's why I was like, oh my God, we're gonna see they're gonna release the Hobbit feet.
They might put him in some like little ballet slippers or something. Who knows?
Would that be better?
I don't know.
I think that like with Danny, like this is his for the taking. I feel like with Joey, I haven't seen him like emotionally connect to a dance yet, but he hasn't really had any dances that are super like emotional in the first place. Like even on dedication night, the dance that he did for Kelsey, it was beautiful, but it just didn't hit that like deep, like, like heartstring pulling tie that I was hoping for. So, but this is, we're weeks down the road. He's continued to improve. So he may come out and absolutely eat. I would love to see it. I don't know that this style of dance is going to be his best because he moves so well in like other things. And he does seemingly struggle with lifts like we saw last week. And this is very lift heavy, not just because it's a contemporary, but like looking at, watching this dance back, I was like, oh my gosh, they did some crazy, amazing lifts. So that's the only thing I'm a little bit worried about for him. But I think, just like with Danny, this could be amazing.
We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. Okay. Next up, NBA champion Dwight Howard and pro partner Daniela will perform an Argentine tango inspired by James and Sharna's performance in season 23 to Santa Maria by the Gotan Project. I'm not sure how to say that, so I'm so sorry to everyone. But
we're sorry to the Gotan Project specifically.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But okay, this is known as the blindfold dance.
This dance is 50 Shades of Grey coded.
Yeah, so this is another really good dance. Another season where the runner-up, where this is another dance where they're honoring one of the runner-ups performances because Sharna and James lost to Lori. Another Val stole it again.
I know. I love Lori and I love Val, but I think that James and Sharna, I think this was theirs.
This was their shock season. This was a shock win, I feel. Not because Lori wasn't great, but I think Lori had the popularity that year.
Mm-hmm. But I think that James overall, I would have picked him. Justice for James.
He was so good. And this dance is another very good dance. This dance has a prop, and there is a very iconic handstand moment on this prop at the end. And I just don't know if Dwight can pull this off. So I'm interested to see how Daniela is going to finesse this.
So this is one where Daniela, the workload is on Daniela because an Argentine tango, the frame is so important. And I am very worried because of the height difference here. They did a tango for Disney night and it wasn't, physically painful to watch. Like, it's not like it wasn't as bad as I was afraid it was going to be. Where I'm more worried, because I think Danny can like come out and choreograph the most amazing thing we've ever seen and like make it work for Dwight. That's not the part that I'm concerned about. Where I'm nervous is the passion and chemistry that they're going to have because they don't have that kind of relationship. And like, and I mean, most people don't. Like, it's very rare. Like, this is a professional dancer who takes this very seriously, and then like their celebrity, and everyone has a relationship. And so like a lot of it is acting, and like I don't think that everyone who does an Argentine tango is like, heavy petting behind the scenes or anything, but like these two seem so friend
Yeah.
coded, and like Dwight is like such a goofball that I worry the commitment to the serious, like sensual part of this is going to be
Yeah.
another layer of difficulty on top of the fact that they're not going to be in a traditional frame.
Well, I think we saw Dwight do really well with character last week. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping, and I hope for the dance's sake and our enjoyment and entertainment sake, that he does the same for this. I think it's possible because he did it last week. I do agree with you that it will be difficult for them. I think the height difference is going to be extremely noticeable here. An idea I have for Daniela, if she's listening. I think she should do it on stilts. I mean, come on. Half the dance, Sharna's dancing around this chair. I'm like, what if we just put Daniela in some stilts? I don't know.
Strap two high chairs to her feet.
Yes. No, but in all seriousness, I think she will be able to be creative with the chair, with the height difference. So I don't know. I'm kind of seeing a lot of use of chair in this dance.
I wonder, it would be really interesting. What if they like used a bar stool instead of a traditional chair? Like
that
it
would
could
be
still,
smart.
I feel like that would be helpful. But I mean, I think, and I was watching in this one for the footwork specifically to see like how difficult this will be for Dwight. And again, keeping in mind, it's not going to be a carbon copy of the first dance that they're paying tribute to.
Right.
But even in this dance, like there's not a ton of the kicks and leg interlocking in this Argentine tango. So that gave me a little bit of hope. Just because like how even like their legs do not even come close to starting, ending at the same place. So it's not like, some Argentine tangos we've seen in the past where it's literally kicks and, all of the leg work.
Yeah.
But the most iconic part of this, aside from the blindfold in the chair, is the handstand that James does. Sharna is like laying down on the chair.
So sick.
It's amazing. Oh my God, it's so good. And he like puts one hand on the seat of the chair, one hand on the like top of the back of the chair, and then does a handstand. Like,
and Dwight
over her.
is so tall. Like, Dwight is so tall. Can you imagine how tall he would be on his hand, like in a handstand on a chair? The cameraman's going to have to be outside recording to get him in frame. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, this is going to be interesting, but I feel it's going to be very, very entertaining and well choreographed by Danny. So I'm excited for it.
Yes. You know what? If Steven hadn't done an Argentine tango previously in this season, this should have been their dance.
Yes, that would have been very cool. Okay, next. Chandler and Brandon will perform an Argentine tango inspired by Kelly Pickler and Derek Cuff's performance in season 16 to Parate.
So quick story time. Did I ever tell you the story about when I was in high school and we won some kind of like radio competition or something?
No.
And Kelly Pickler came and performed at my high school?
No, but I love that story.
Yeah. So every time, like,
did she sing In My Red High Heels?
Yeah. Hell yeah, she did, baby.
Hell yeah. That's her. That is her banger.
Yeah. Like the one. Love you, Kelly Pickler, but like,
if you're listening, respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. But no, so every time I like remember that she was on Dancing with the Stars, I was like, I've seen her like with my own two eyes in real life at Arlington High School. So shout out. This Argentine tango, it was sickening. Kelly Pickler, like, man, she and Derek were amazing. They won, right?
Yes, they were the winners.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't think Derek, I think Derek might have lost like 2 seasons he was ever on.
Yeah, and I think when he did, it was to Mark. So
yeah.
that tracks. I think that this is going to slay. I think Chandler has, so a big thing for a female doing the Argentine tango, aside from like with the costuming piece, how it's kind of normally done, and the choreography as well, like if you have the long legs, that
and she's like way taller than Kelly.
That like makes like it just kind of gives you an advantage, like a leg up, if you will, LOL, um, on dances like this, because they just like, it just looks so good. Like visually, it is so impressive.
Yeah.
And I think Chandler's already a fantastic dancer. I think she and Brandon have such a great partnership. And after watching them last week, like I have no doubts about them being able to sell this. Which, I mean, I say last week, like I haven't thought she was great all season, but I think that this is going to be absolutely stunning. I think it's going to be so amazing. It's going to be interesting because this is the only one on this list that Derek is a judge and it's his dance.
Yes. Yeah, which I feel can be a major what's the word? Like it disadvantage maybe. I don't think disadvantage is right, but like that sets the bar higher, I feel, for them, because Derek seems like the one you want to impress these days, and it's his dance, and this is tough choreography. I think that this is a very creative dance, and when you watch this dance, it's giving Derek's tour vibes, if that makes sense. Like,
yes.
I have absolutely no doubts that this is going to be Chandler's perfect score dance. I think that this is just going to be such a moment for her, especially if she can just get into that character. Derek, though, I feel Chandler, the only major difference I see, because I think Chandler can absolutely hit every bit that was in this dance for Kelly, but Chandler is just bigger than Kelly. That's just like a fact. I mean, Kelly was super tiny and short, and Chandler has the height. So I think the movements are going to look even better when Chandler does them, but I think it might limit them in some of the choreography that Derek is literally like just tossing Kelly around the dance floor some. But I need those split spins that Derek does, like I need air. I texted Katie today and said, I need split spins like I need air from this dance. And I think that Brandon's definitely going to give them to us. I think we're definitely going to start with the shadows and the silhouettes. I mean,
you have to.
Yeah. So if they do anything, they'll absolutely do that. So I'm very excited about this.
Yes. And I'm excited to see how Brandon makes this his own, because, I mean, I feel like Brandon has never really gotten his flowers for his choreography in the past. And I think he's definitely like grown a bunch like over his time as a pro.
Yeah.
And like this is by far his best season choreography and everything. So I'm super excited to see him take an already amazing iconic dance and make it perfect for him and Chandler. Yeah, I think it's going to be so sick.
I'm excited. Okay. Next up, Alona and Alan will perform a quick step inspired by Jordan Fisher and Lindsay Arnold's performance in season 25 to Chuck Berry by Pharrell Williams. I'm so annoyed by this, but
yeah, the next two are a big womp womp. They literally said, you guys are Olympians who won medals for our country, but we don't care because we're giving you the shaft.
I have beef. And I think it's because I think I can admit that I'm biased to Alona, and I've thought about this a lot today, and not just today, like since the beginning of the season. I think the representation is very important. I think, like I was just talking about, Kelly Pickler being so tiny, and all the other women that are left are small. And I think it's very interesting to watch Alona dance just because it is so different. And I think sometimes it makes the dances look different when you're watching other pros that are left, small girls left still romping around that dance floor. But I think today that's just kind of when it hit me. I'm like, maybe I am just biased to her, not only just because of her personality that I love and I'm obsessed with, and I'm obsessed with her now, and like we all know, but I just really enjoy having something different on my screen.
Yeah.
And me and Katie talked about this a lot. I mean, Alona and Steven have been given opposite roles. They're not playing the star in their dances. They're playing the pros role in their dances, and we are bothered by that.
Yes, I'm frustrated because like it's not like we've had 5 seasons of this show and they're like trying to find something. We're on season 33. We're on the 500th episode. You're telling me you couldn't find 2 other dances where they're still iconic, but the star is the one who
is left? Yeah.
Is the one that they're going to be paying homage to?
Right.
Like, I'm be so for real right now.
Very bothered by this choice, especially, no offense to Alona and Jordan, but those two could not be more different.
No, Jordan was like, y'all want to talk about people having dance experience? Like,
Broadway trained.
yes.
Broadway trained.
And like, I loved Jordan Fisher. Like, I would have preferred if Lindsay or Frankie had won, simply because I'm always
Frankie.
Frankie, just justice for Frankie. I
I'm
love him
thinking
so
about
much.
Frankie now.
But like, I typically am not one to be team person who is like literally a professional dancer to some extent, just because that's not my favorite part about the show, because otherwise I would just watch like dance competition shows like So You Think You Could Dance. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's never my favorite, but I still loved Jordan and Lindsay, and they were very, very deserving of their mirror ball. I loved their partnership. He was so amazing. I was so entertained. But yeah, I mean, it's not like he was a fellow, like, you know, athlete, like sports person. So, you know, because maybe then it would be like, okay, like it makes a little bit more sense, whatever. But I mean, still, she's having to be Lindsay Arnold, which like, what even? So I'm a little frustrated by this. And then I'm also, this dance, if you go back and watch, which I strongly encourage everyone to go back and watch these dances, just to kind of,
scratch the itch, if you will.
Whet your appetite, get excited. This dance has the most visual stuff going on, and I didn't like it.
No.
So I don't want them to do that. Like, it was literally like hypnotism level, like floor projections and stuff. It was very distracting.
And talk about, like, you know, what you were saying earlier about Allison and Riker. This is not an iconic Jordan dance to me. His jive to Tina Turner in the gold suit was way more iconic than this.
His samba to Mi Gente.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other problem. It's like, this is an automatic disadvantage. This feels like an automatic disadvantage right now. Let's even say we flip the script and we give Steven this dance. I feel like that's a little bit more on par, while it's still a disadvantage, but it's a little bit more on par here. Alona having to recreate this dance when there were other, and y'all have heard me say this a million times, and I'm so sorry, but like, why couldn't she recreate a dance with Layla Ali, who also made it to the finals? Someone similar to her.
Yeah, or an athletic woman with an amazing rockin' bod that's just not your typical skinny, teeny, tiny girl, which there's nothing wrong with either, but like, why not kind of point her in a direction that's gonna
help her. I feel,
but at the same time, we did kind of bitch about Chandler getting her own character for Disney night. So like, I'm not trying to say like, I think Alona deserves an easier dance, because I don't want to sell her short either. She might come out and absolutely slay the house down on this. But I think that it's just very strange the way that this was selected, because again, like you said, this is not even the Jordan and Lindsay dance.
No, and I'm with you. This is a weird dance to me. There is the hypnosis effects, the outfit, the color of their outfits. I hated that. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm just like, I'm bummed out about this choice, and I think it's just after like how I felt like her week last week was disadvantageous or whatever with the with the production quality. I'm not looking forward to this, like, and I feel bummed out about that. But again, I'm gonna hold out hope and be positive that she's gonna slay the house down and just absolutely walk out here and make me eat my words and this be my favorite dance of the night. So
yeah, I think again, Alan is gonna have a lot of work to do, because you're basically going to have to say, okay, Alona, I mean, and it's not like this is a contemporary or something where it's a little bit easier to kind of manipulate who's doing what. This is a dance in hold where like there's very much a clear, this is the woman's role, this is the man's role. So like, he's literally going to be like, you're going to have to do Lindsay's part.
And the last thing I'll say, we saw how big of a struggle her jive was for her. So I really hope she can channel a different energy for her quick step this time.
Yeah, me too. And it's not like we're here to say that she's not going to do a good job or whatever, but it's just, I think that this was a weird pick because of all of the seasons we've seen. I think there are so many more iconic dances than this one.
Agree. Okay. Last but not least, Steven and Riley will perform a Viennese waltz inspired by Charlie D'Amelio and Mark Ballas's performance in season 31 to Glimpse of Us.
Okay, you want to talk about the impossible task? Here it is.
Okay, also, I'm not saying that we shouldn't do a recent season, but like, come on. Why are we doing one this recent?
Not even that. Like, what even is this? Like, so not only was Charlie D'Amelio a literal dancer who came on and was like just
another Broadway star who has just this week had her debut on Broadway. This week.
And the queen of TikTok and like literally a trained dancer, dance classes all her life.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, she put on an amazing show. She and Mark created some magic out there. She wasn't my Mirror Ball winner, but that's okay. I totally respect and appreciate what they did, and it was super entertaining. But you're saying that sweet baby Steven has the task of being Mark Ballas. Okay.
I can't.
Okay. Be for real. Dancing with the Stars. What even is this?
Okay, he has 2 weeks to become Mark, so he can probably do it in 2 weeks.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
Okay, so when I think about this dance, I think about Lynn. And
oh my God, I know. I cried when I rewatched this.
So it just makes me think about, like, I listened to him judge this, and I just thought that, and I remember when we said it on the episode, that dance was for Lynn and Lynn only. And so I feel like that's a sweet way to have a tribute to Lynn. So I kind of hope that there's like a mention of Lynn or something. I don't know. This just makes me think of Lynn. Therefore, I'm okay with it being in here. I think Steven is going to have some timing issues here. I am excited for him to do a slower dance. I hope that they bring the white tattered cloth dress back for Riley.
And put Steven in tails.
Yes, I look forward to this one, but I worry about Steven's gracefulness. Prove me wrong, Steve. That's all. Prove me wrong, Steve. I still think he can do it, but this isn't going to be another hard one for Riley. But I want to be proved wrong that this is too tall a task.
I'm so worried about his timing. That's the biggest thing he's struggled with all season. And again, much like Danny in this one, he has no gymnastics abilities or lifts, or there's nothing to hide behind. It is all frame and footwork and musicality for a Viennese waltz. Like, he's going to be exposed, like, not necessarily in a bad way. Like, if he rises to the occasion, it's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
But if he struggles, there's really nothing that he can do about it, you know?
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I read that Mark Ballas choreographed this because he and his wife had just had a miscarriage.
Oh gosh, I don't remember.
And that's why they did the letting go of the balloon at the beginning. And it was like a whole, so like obviously, and it was like super emotional, and I read that. Either that or I dreamed it.
Well, yeah, that would make sense. It says, oh yeah, it is. No, you're right. I just did a quick Google, and I think that Mark is on TikTok and on YouTube, and they posted like a video called Our Pregnancy Journey Through Loss and Healing, and then snippets of this dance are also in it where he's talking about it. So it looks like he was also awarded for a award for this dance, I believe. But yeah, I think you're right.
An Emmy or something?
It doesn't say Emmy, but it was something in the dance world, some kind of choreography award. But I think that you are correct, but that makes me really sad. And I hope that...
not only is it an impossible task because, like...
They had emotion in it.
Right, yeah. So, like, aside from all the things you already said, like, this was super, super personal for the people who did it originally. So, like, I don't know, really...
Here's something I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I hope that the stars, like, in Pros of Past, maybe come in and give some advice.
Yes. So somebody posted, I'm so sorry, I do not remember who it was, but somebody posted a screenshot of, I think, Riley's story on Instagram in our Facebook group, which, hi, if you're new here, it's from Lynn the 10 DWTS on Facebook. It's really fun. Come join us. And also, while we're here, follow us on TikTok at Talk Dirty Dancing to Me and Instagram at Talk Dirty Dancing to Me. Anyway, back to this. But she posted a picture, and I recognized Sharna's red hair immediately in the background, and I think she was next to Daniela. And so my first thought was, oh my gosh, they're going to have like a mentoring moment because these people are dancing to their like the dances that they originally did. Mm-hmm. But then she made a point that a lot of the former pros are coming back to be part of the opening number because they're doing the opening number from the very first show.
That makes me just like want to cry. I'm so excited.
I know.
I'm so excited. So I think that they'll probably get some elements of all of it. Like, I think we'll get a little bit of all of it because maybe not everyone is available or whatever, but maybe at least some FaceTimes or something and some good coaching up. But yeah, I'm really overall excited about the night. Of course, if we got to pick, we would have chosen some different dances, but that's okay.
I think the only person that I would think would not, because Julianne is already there. She's the host, one of the hosts. Sharna, I know, is back for at least the opening number. Derek is a judge, so he's there. Lindsay is constantly there because, I mean, she's at almost every single show. I'm sure she'll be in the opening number, and obviously Riley's sister, duh. And then Mark, he was just there to be a judge. So, like, the only one that I wouldn't be sure about is Allison. But, I mean, I feel like they probably picked this and like talk to her about it before to see if she would come back in. Like, and I think she lives in LA.
That also could be like why they chose some of these. So
right.
Anyway, after these, we'll have the instant dance challenge, which have really no idea what to expect here.
You know what I expect? Very little.
Chaos.
I think that this is going to be a mess. I'm so stressed about it. And it was like crazy to me because so on her interview with Good Morning America today, Carrie Ann was talking about it, and she said that the second round of the dance on the show, the stars and pros will not know the style of dance or the song they're dancing to for this instant dance challenge until 5 minutes before they perform it live.
It's so crazy.
I just don't understand. Like, so in my mind, that means they have to give them a style that they've at least done before. Like, yeah. Because, like, you can't be like, okay, you've never done a tango. Let me spend 1 minute teaching you a proper frame and 2 minutes teaching you, and like 4 minutes teaching you some choreography that I hope to God you can remember because we're about to go out there and do it.
Yeah. So I feel a lot of worry about this. I looked up because I know it's not the first time they've ever done a quote unquote instant dance challenge, but the way that Carrie Ann was explaining on GMA today was totally different than they had done it in the past. I knew that they did it in the finale. They did it in the finale where the year JR won. JR and I think Karina, was it JR and Karina won? That is when Rob Kardashian too. So
yeah.
The year that
throwback.
Major throwback. So in the finale, the final two did an instant dance challenge dance off. And they both it was half the song JR dance and then half the song Rob dance, but they found out their dance style and song 20 minutes before, they said. So they had like multiple commercial breaks and other like promo shoots or whatever and other videos and troop dances and all that jazz before the couples went out. So they had like 15 minutes, I guess, to put it together. But it seems like this is going to be totally different and something we haven't seen before and unique because there's 6 couples that have to do an instant dance challenge. So I'm very curious to find out how this is going to shake down because they really haven't told us like, hey, here's how it's going to work. Here's who's paired up. Here's how this is going. Like, I feel it's going to be a disaster.
Well, it doesn't sound like they're even going to do a pairing. It doesn't sound like it's going to be a 1v1 kind of thing.
Right. But that's why I thought that just because I had seen it other times, but no clue.
Well, and I thought it was very interesting that in her interview today, Carrie Ann said, quote, as a dancer, I wouldn't want to do that. Nobody wants to do that, end quote. And so I'm like, okay, then why are we doing it?
Right.
Like, it sounds like it's basically, well, and another weird thing she said too is like, I expect 2 people will do really well at this because of their dance background. And I was like, okay.
She said there are 2 dancers that are better technically. And then the host, who was the host of GMA today? Who was that lady asking her questions? What's her name? I'm so sorry to her.
Couldn't tell you. Sorry, ma'am.
So sorry to you and your family, but like I do not know who you are. And she was like, "Well, who is it? Who do you think's better?" And she's like, "Well, I'm not going to say." And I'm like, "Girly pop."
It's
girly
gotta be
pop.
Chandler and Joey.
Yeah, but what's crazy is like, oh, so now you think Chandler's one of the better technical dancers? Like, I'm
Oh,
so confused.
I
Like,
didn't even think about that.
I'm like, who else would it be if it's not Chandler? Like, I'm so confused, but whatever. I digress because anyway, I'm speculating a lot here. I don't have a lot of information. I just feel I'm prepared to be like super overwhelmed by the dances and love how they go, and then I'm gonna hate the instant dance challenge is what I fear.
I know, and I'm stressed about it because I think another thing that I meant to say when we were talking about the tribute dances is that all of these dances are a lot longer than what we're used to, but also we're down to 6 people, so the dances are getting longer each week anyway.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, and as I was watching all these dances, they were long.
I know.
They were long.
That's literally the first thought that came into my head after watching like the first 2 or 3. I was like, damn, these are some long dances. Like, there's a lot going on. So I hope that we get to see that much dancing. I'm not sure. But we do only have 6 people left. And if we're doing an instant dance challenge and you only have 5 minutes, like how much time are you, like how many 8 counts are you going to be able to choreograph in 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, like you said, if it's going to be a head-to-head thing or if it's going to be like another set of scores out of 10. Surely not, idea. Right?
Surely scores out of 10.
No. Maybe scores out of 5.
I have no idea. I have no idea. There's no way. I mean, what are they going to do? Like all of a sudden make their judging system a 1 out of 5? Like, I don't know. I think that they're going to give them...
I think that would make more sense because what are you like? Oh my God, imagine like what happened last week with Alona being the only person not to get a 10 and the only person to get 8s. What if like you score, 8, 9, 9 or whatever on your dance that you've been practicing for 2 weeks and then somebody comes out, throws something together in 5 minutes and gets a 10? That would be my 13th reason right there.
I know. I feel I'm just prepared to be disappointed. Like I have no other expectations other than that. But
no. The first half, the highs are going to be so high. The second half, we are going to be in a pit of despair, I'm afraid.
I'm right there with you, but I guess we'll see next week.
Yeah, so we just wanted to, like we said earlier, hop on, kind of talk through some of the background of all of this that we're going to see next week so that we don't have to cover it on the podcast next week, and also give you guys a little something to get you by until we meet again. But yeah, I think as Sarah made fun of me for saying last week, I kept saying everyone had all the potential in the world. This episode has all the potential in the world. So
it does.
We'll see. I think it's going to be really good, and I just hope it lives up to the hype. It's got big shoes to fill.
Absolutely. And I don't know. I'm just really anxious. I wish it was here tomorrow. But until then, we'll see you guys next week.
All right, guys. Everybody hang in there, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Hang in there, guys. Bye.